All right, Tomb of the Spider Queen. What do teams prioritize? What do they like? What do they not like? It's pretty much where we are with the bands, you know? Are you happy to fight Maiev? Are you happy to fight Blaze, Genji, Hanzo, Greymane? It's what are you happy to come up against? Is pretty much how the system works at the moment.
Well, I tell you what, Disco, I'm still not happy to go up against Maiev. I just struggle. I struggle.
I think on this map here, I really like Blaze, and I do hope that the Blaze is either prioritized as pick or banned out. Maiev is removed, so that could mean that we are going to see on the side of... Oh, I missed actually which side the teams we're on. I believe that is Onyx? No.
We got
Raynor,
team of UA on blue side and Onyx on the right.
Yeah, that's it. You know, I think we are going to see a Blaze come out early on from Raynor here.
Well, we got a 100% strike. Oh, nope, there we go.
Unless it gets banned.
Bye-bye, Blaze.
All right, so this really opens up what is their priority here on the side. It's a single pick, right, for Raynor here, so they have to really be smart about it. But of course, Hanzo, Genji, Malfurion is a common first pick because he's such a strong support, and it doesn't really sort of show off your composition too much to the enemy team. And so, you know, if we're going on meta here, Malfurion should probably be the first pickup unless they prioritize something much more heavily. Or no one can play Malfurion.
Interesting points there. So normally the first pick will dictate what type of comp we're going for, unless we get just like a standard Mirrodin or like a Malfurion. So very interesting to see what they pick first. That's gonna really dictate to Onyx what they're gonna have to deal with, whether it's dive, whether it's super rotational based. I don't know.
Well, that's the trouble, right, with first pick, is that you kind of... ETC, high prioritized. I mean, this opens up a lot of counterplay, though, for the side of Onyx, you know. Not that I would say that they would pick up a Li Ming so early into it, but, you know, Li Ming for a force here, early Johanna. We got, you know... Just trying to quickly run through my head of other characters that could sort of...
Well, yeah, look, if Onyx weren't going to go a disrupt comp, now they will.
Oh yeah, you could see like and you could see like say a Gul'dan. Yeah, we can like say like pick up a Gul'dan, get your Horrify sorted out early on. Gul'dan, Greymane, or say pick up Hanzo and Uther, or Genji and Uther, or Hanzo and Malfurion. I mean, there's tons of sort of really good combos you could just hit up straight away. Knowing they've taken ETC, it doesn't really reveal too much of what the enemy team really wants from them lineup, because ETC is just a strong pick. There we go. There's the Gul'dan.
Well done.
And the Lucio for fast rotations. That does leave the other team to take an Uther for a Divine Shielded Mosh pick of Glory, or pick up a Malfurion to really lock down the Lucio when he goes in to drop his shield barrier in the fights.
Disco, we could see some really advanced mind games here from UA Raynor. What I think, and if they were super clever about this, they first pick the ETC threatening the Mosh. Then we see Onyx drafting into a disruptive comp. So we've already got a Boop. We've already got a Horrify. Let's wait and see if we see a Johanna for a Blessed Shield or a Li Ming for that Wave of Force. And then ETC at level 10 goes Stage Dive. Completely trolled the enemy draft and dictated how they draft. And then whilst they're sitting there, yeah, nice, well done. Well, here's our team. Boom.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. There has been some historical moments where a stage dive power slide, I feel, has actually been more beneficial or more effective for a team than any mosh pit sort of could have been in that situation. Li Ming, actually no, so I feel that they're definitely going to go with the mosh pit, picking up the Li Ming in particular. That's going to protect the ETC from any sort of wave of force, one of the best ways to cancel out the ETC mosh pit, but it also gives them massive amounts of damage as well when the ETC does eventually power slide in and grab the mosh pit. Stukov can silence outside of that, so even a bigger play. I really like the team we're seeing from Raynor here. I like what they're building.
This build from Raynor, we are absolutely going to see the lurking arm build coming out for this Stukov. The positioning of that into an ETC mosh with, you know, the little bit of overlap. So we have the silence pool into the ETC mosh. That is devastating. That is enough to completely turn the tide of any battle. You get that on Gul'dan or your backliner, or even your solo laner. That's going to be team fight 1.
Yeah, done and dusted.
It's scary. That's really scary. We see the Genji band out by the side of Onyx. So afraid of that dive. So it looks like they may be going for a little bit more of a backline comp, Disco.
Well, definitely with the Gul'dan, right? The Gul'dan is sitting there. He's damaging himself to regain mana. So when you have Genji that can sort of dive onto the back and continue to pressure that, it can be scary for the Gul'dan. So they've removed that option from the fray. Characters like Tracer are still on the board. Tracer Li Ming wouldn't be too bad, and Raynor here could pick up a secondary warrior behind this, someone to act more of that solo lane potential, so that they desperately need as well. So there's still a lot to fear on the side of Onyx here, particularly in that Gul'dan. Just because you banned out Genji doesn't mean there isn't suitable replacements that can be taken for him.
Absolutely. And we see our Unreal Aussies banning out Mirrodin, so not wanting to deal with that Dwarf Toss into Stormbolt over the walls. And the Johanna Greymane pickup on the side of Onyx. So definitely got some frontline and got some solid frontline. The blind for Johanna, not really seeing any melee heroes just yet on the side of UA. So could be an interesting pickup, especially at third pick there, Disco. Greymane obviously going to cause a lot of damage. Will we see the Arthas solo lane to directly counter that Greymane's attack speed? Hey, look at that.
There we go. So there's your Ragnaros you were talking about. Ragnaros on this map. And the variant. I like the variant. It's looking at potential play when the Greymane does dive in, being able to taunt and everyone just sort of like collapse onto it. I'm interested to see what Ragnaros is going to take because they've got ETC for the mosh pit. Does Ragnaros take Sulfurous Smash and really lock down the objective and the help with the team fights of the mosh pit? Or do they take Lava Wave and clean up the lanes? I personally would like to see Sulfurous Smash because I feel it's a little bit of a better talent, but we just see so much Lava Wave just helping with the pressure on these maps.
You see so much Lava Wave in Hero League or Quick Match Disco or in competitive because I feel like it's a little bit of a cheesy thing to do, especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen with those spiders, and you know how big those waves can build up. So
I've seen it too much in competitive. I've seen it, once is too much.
I call it cheesy, but it is actually a bit of a smart move, especially on this map, Disco. So.
All right, and finish up with the Tyrael on the side of Onyx. Tyrael's a good choice for the Greymane. When the Greymane does dive in, you can see Tyrael back it up with a obviously Sanctification, keeps Greymane alive. I mean, there is potential for Tyrael to judgment onto someone like, say, Li Ming, Greymane follow up. Yeah. But I always talk about it, but I have yet to see it happen in the region.
No. You've got it, Disco. Judgment into the Li Ming, then followed up by the Johanna's Falling Sword, followed up by Lucio's reverse amp. Mate, you've got an instant kill right there, right?
Yeah. Sounds so good. And then Stukov uses Q to cancel it. Oh, not use Q, W. What is it? WE? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Presses the button and stops it all.
Pushes a button, stops everyone's fun.
Push button to receive bacon. That's why Stukov is so good.
That's why I dry my hands every time I'm waiting to receive bacon. It just never comes. Where's the bacon, people?
All right, here we are. We're on Tomb of the Spider Queen. It is a game 3 for the Open Division. Week 2, we are going in. Red team is Onyx. And we've got Lucio being played by Grumpshot. Gul'dan is The Fish. Tyrael is played by Quads. Johanna is AC The Man. And Greymane is being played by Shardstorm.
And on the blue team, we have UA Raynor here with Claymore on the variant, Rhinoceros on the ETC, Andromeda on the Stukov, Raz rocking the Li Ming, and Chuck 35, 35, 35 on the Ragnaros.
Let the battle begin.
And they're off.
Are we going to see some mid-brawl action, Disco?
I love it. Onyx here is... so this is an interesting strategy by Onyx right now. They're actually slowing...
the old minion wave disruption. It doesn't really work that well in Heroes. In Dota and League, sure. But not really in Heroes.
It's not as good. I mean, it does slow them down a little bit. But I mean, the 1%ers of what change this game. By the end of it, it was like, man, you know what? If it wasn't for that slowdown at the beginning of the game, they would have lost. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to send their whole team back to the core for every minion wave throughout the game, absolutely. but no, I think you're right. I mean, there was a visible difference in where they met up in the middle of the map just there. So, interesting strat.
All right, so the lurking arms coming out onto the fish. ETC did follow up, but there's no damage there. Stukov's in a little bit of a spot there. Shardstorm putting a lot of damage out. No confirmed kills is very early on, but lovely rotation here on that side of Onyx.
Shardstorm putting out a lot of damage early on. His control over Greymane seems very precise at the moment, Disco. So these rotations looking snappy, getting the wave clear out, which is what they're built to do. This team is going to be scary.
Oh, indeed. Just looking at the what we're seeing here in talent fields, and an interesting one here sort of been picked up by Johanna, taking Hold Your Ground, increases the Iron Skin shield, and it's called reduces cooldown by 4 seconds. Not something that I don't see a lot on Johanna. I think they more take the
Laws of Hope.
Yeah, Laws of Hope. The heal.
Yeah, so get that regen and the instant heal. Usually provides a lot of value, Disco. So I'm interested to see how that's going to affect the game in the long term, because that heal for 30% of your health over the course of 6 seconds or whatever it is dramatic.
Yeah, I guess they're just hoping that the reduced cooldown means that AC the man can use it often during the game, because he does need to save it for later on when ETC has mosh pit, so he can sort of use his trait to get through the actual mosh pit itself and disrupt. But yeah, it's an interesting pick. But hey, 30% extra shields is pretty good. Works for Tyrael. A lot of damage going on to Claymore right now. There's not a lot of follow-up to actually finish him off. And it is the big massive ETC power slides into the lurking arm. No confirmed kills, but that winners. If we see that in 5 more levels, oh my god, that would have been 3 members dead on the side of Onyx.
See that in 5 more levels, Disco. That is going to be a big old kill.
Oh wow, that's like a super exciting moment. Like, oh, everyone's.
I was excited. I was just waiting for the kill. Oh, again,
waiting for the kill. That is what we're hearing from Raynor here. Finish off Shardstorm, but protected. Nicely done there by AC the man. Greymane will back out, heal up, get back into the fray, and yeah, just waiting. Each team rotates now between the top and the mid, trying to collect gems. I think that force back from Greymane has really slowed down the rotation on the side of Onyx, which is going to buy some time for a hand in from ETC. Shardstorm, however, sort of feeling it, goes in, doesn't prevent it, and there's no follow-up to punish the ETC.
Oh, we see an attempted engage on the rag at the bottom there, but he sniffed it out. Chuck 3-5, just getting away by the skin of his teeth. He's been doing such a great job against the Tyrael down at bot lane there, Disco. He sort of had him pushed up, doing a little bit of damage to the towers. Yeah, we see them rotating away.
Yeah, that's so neutral. Everything is such a neutral sort of game at the moment. Each team waiting for a big mistake to occur. And as the levels progresses, that's where we're going to see those big power slide lurking arm plays start to really pay off when there's follow-up damage. But just Winner, do you think we're going to see something weird on Varian here? I just see
I was just about to say that, Disco. King's Quest at level 1. Ooh, are we going to see the Twin Blades of Fury coming out, Disco, in a competitive game?
I mean, there's...
Oh, I'm confused. I'm interested. Off-meta pick? Off-meta build?
Well, I'm wondering if we are going to see something of that description and not Taunt. Or it is at least going to give it a little bit of a damage increase when Taunt is picked. The King Old Quest can connect there. Li Ming doesn't connect to anything. Nice little movement there on the side of the blue-red team to avoid all that. And Raynor gets taken out! Oh, man. Oh, that's beautiful. I love you, Greymane. I love those moments there. Cocktail. He hasn't gone cocktail build, obviously, but lovely play there. A little bit more of auto attack. Greymane still using the cocktail to great effect.
Oh, that was gold. I love seeing a cocktail kill behind a wall. Just that last possible pixel frame gets the kill. It's just exciting.
It always is, and they got the kill. It gives them a little bit more experience lead. It's giving them the opportunity to hand in the gems for the web weavers. This relates to lane pressure. Lane pressure turns into experience gains. Gains turn into rippling level muscle advantages.
And that's what we're going to see coming out here, Disco, as we get underway with this Spider phase. Onyx already half a level in front. That pull, wow, the silence time. That gets the disengage and allows them to back out.
Yeah, it's like an abandoned ship call. The silence goes down. You just see everyone from Onyx just disappear, almost in a puff of smoke. Oh, prioritizing the top lane here, backing up the support of the Web Weaver. The top lane is another priority lane on this map because it is the boss lane. So you're looking to try and put a lot of your pressure on there if you can. The Web Weaver has fallen, but there's one in the mid and the bottom lane. Obviously, still gaining experience for the side of Onyx, who are actually prioritizing a 3-1-1 lane here to try and maximize experience.
Getting a lot of value out of it too, as the Web Weavers in mid and bottom just push by themselves. Raynor is down bottom challenging Tyrael, but the mid one just pushed through that outer fort wall. So lots of value there. One full level lead there, Disco, by the Onyx team.
Yeah, and I'm just interested. Sorry, I'm just trying to see what they're doing here. They almost level 10. I thought they might have stayed in top and tried to get a little bit, tried to force a kill, or at least on the tower, force the enemy team to rotate up to him, but they haven't. They're playing a bit safe, preventing a hand in instead, which is probably way more tactical. As I think about it, blind there, stopping ETC. Can't hand in those 22 gems. It would hurt right now for him to die. I still think there's enough gems on the team to get a hand in anyway. But yeah, that would be a lot for the beef of the East to lose.
I'm just going to call out here, Disco, that the Fish is already on 34 stacks of Echoed Corruption. He only needs 6 more to get that 40 stack, and with that, a very big power spike in the Gul'dan damage. That is insane at 7 minutes into the game.
Yeah, it's 100% right. And he's actually even got Corruption, taking the slow course of exertion at level 7. So he's going to get the extra damage on the Echo Corruption. He hasn't gone for the Fell Flame cooldown reduction, which means he's not going to do it as often, but slowing it down for someone like Greymane to stay connected and get the damage down. There's a nice little team synergy moment going on there.
I'm digging it. And looking into the second wind that Varian's picked up here, Disco, I'm thinking there's going to be a little bit of a Twin Blades coming out. But who knows? As our wonderful chat pointed out earlier, Disco, the arms spec bug is still around. So Colossus Smash, let's find out as level 10 rolls in for the UA Raynor here team. What do you got for us, Varian?
Taunt.
Takes all the fun out of it.
I mean, he is looking at an option there to keep his damage up with King's Quest when it's all fully completed. And the Taunt is going to give him that play against the Greymane when he dives in. Potentially even, the Tyrael, the Gul'dan as well, if they're out of position, or they can, force a kill on Tyrael early in the fight. EDC goes in onto the back line, has been knocked out, not willing to commit with a mosh pit, too close to the tower, no minions to soak the shots for him. Quad has come in, looking for a chance to get over the wall, throws the sword, but it's more of a fear tactic, and the blue team disengages.
If Tyrael had mosh pit, then I'd be worried. You imagine that? Eldruin's into a mosh pit. No, thank you.
Just make Eldruin a mosh pit.
Ranged mosh pit. Horrible. Ranged mosh.
And that's why we don't design characters, folks.
Yeah, that's it. We are not in character dev. That's why we get to play the funnies.
And another highlight there. So Furious Smash has been picked up on the side of for Ragnarok.
Getting some quests coming out. We got Prog Rock done by ATC, so he's going to be contributing to the heals on his side, ladies and gents. Disintegrate coming out for the Li Ming. Very interesting.
Oh, nice there. Shard taking a lot of damage. Then knocked in the place. Swipe comes out. That might have actually helped the side of the red team. Pushed them into a little bit of a situation they could escape in.
That just disengaged the Onyx team for them. Andromeda,
yeah.
Maybe an accidental flailing swipe. Maybe Disco.
That you could, you could rewind history, and if you could turn that flame swipe into a mosh pit, I think that would have been 4 members down.
Flailing swipe mosh. Everybody dance. Oh.
No, I mean, if ETC used his mosh pit, because that's actually still available.
I'm just kidding. I'm going along with my terrible sense of humor. Hey, it's better than dropping a mosh pit when there's no one nearby.
Oh, it's too soon. Too soon. Too soon.
Sorry, team.
Right. Meanwhile, we see ETC has engaged into it, but no follow-up. Again, not using the mosh pit. Scared about any sort of CC from the enemy team knocking him out. But they've got the Li Ming, so there's really nothing to be scared about except for the sanctification from Tyrael and Johanna's own condemn.
Well, they've certainly cleared away that wave in the mid quite easily, but now they're going to have to contend with those web weavers, Disco. So quite a significant push happening. Top lane's missing its outer walls, minus a one tower with a bit of HP on it. Same with bot lane tower. Going to see a lot of value coming out of these ones as we eke closer to level 13 for Team Onyx.
Look at that. ETC is on the back line looking to try and drop something massive on them. Have you heard the song of my people, my latest hit? But not yet. Can't find an opportunity to trap everyone. He actually locks down Greymane. He just actually locked down Johanna as well in that. Just on the edge of the mosh pit. But everything else coming out. Nice big condemn. In lurking arm. Doesn't connect in too much. AC wanting to go in. Team Brave. Quads has gone in. He's got the Druid's Might. But been knocked back by Flailing Swipe. Game is disengaged as two web weavers in the mid and the bottom lane wreak havoc on the side of Raynors here.
Disco, that mosh interfere. That interrupted the mosh. And the Greymane gets feared the other way and gets away. The Lucio sound barrier was just on point to save that team, and the disengage was perfect.
Yeah, it was just all looking so good. Even the lurking arm that came down and sort of zoned on the side of Raynor here to prevent a big follow-up.
The web weavers got a lot of value out of that. 2 levels gained during that little skirmish there for Team Onyx as they take the mid and bot forts and start applying pressure to the outer keep walls, opening this map up, giving themselves a chance at a win condition. And look, if they go and take that boss at any point, that is just knocking on the core's door.
Oh yeah, so easily. Just looking back at the talents, and we see Li Ming turning herself into a glass cannon, literally taking the glass cannon talent. While she does have a damage boost, it means she's taking a lot more damage. That's kind of scary when the enemy team's got a Greymane that can dive onto you at any moment.
Disco, that is a build I have not seen on Li Ming for a long time. Glass cannon into Z's Vengeance and Triumvirate at level 4?
Oh, Sanctification has gone down. It's keeping Onyx alive in this big follow-up there. This is Flailing Swipe. Flailing Swipe. It just hasn't really given the value I think the blue team was looking for. The fight rages on. We see members finally failing now. Starting to fall. ETC has fallen to cooldown. Raynor has fallen as well. Red team doing a massive damage here. This is going to institute a nice rotate down. They can clean up the mid lane here. They don't have enough gems for a hand in Winters, but what's something else on the map they could do?
Wow. He's sitting up the top there all by him lonesome.
Now the question is, do they have the time? Or do they have the time to do it? There's only 10 seconds left. They do have a lot of high damage because they've got, Gul'dan and Greymane, but they're opting to not even attempt to it because it's a little bit risky. But, I was thinking to myself, could they do a rapid boss here?
Oh, they absolutely could have. If they all rotated at the one time, they would have had that boss within a couple of seconds. I just want to go back to that Tyrael Holy Ground that separated the ETC. That was excellent. The team all converged straight onto that point and just destroyed ETC. And I think it was the Rag, just blew him up.
Yeah, just made him disappear. You will not bother the mountain no more, Ragnaros. Be gone.
No more old country.
Alright, just a little bit of zoning here. There's 90 gems right now on the side of Raynor here. They're about to get a big handed. Can anyone prevent it? No, but they haven't! They have not still handed in enough. We see the Andromeda finally getting there. Will be the fast one. Blinded, prevented. A lot of damage going to Stukov here. Red team starting to go in deep. Flailing Swipe disengages for the blue team, but the red team is rapidly following up because they do have Lucio. Greymane goes in, gets the kill on Stukov. There's no healing, there's no support. Claymore will be next to fall. Taunt doing no value. Chuck has used the Molten Core, but it's really just to save his life more than anything else. Behind this, we could be seeing another Web Weaver come out on the side of Onyx. If there's no connection from the Molten Core, it is going to be down in the next 3 seconds. But behind this, the boss is finally being picked up, Winters, and then 3 Web Weavers. Is this the doom for Raynor here?
This is absolutely a win condition opening up for Onyx right now. Oh, Disco. That was such precise turning and focus on those teams. Raynor, not Raynor. The Raynor team losing the Variant and the Stukov pretty much instantaneously, yet again due to a wonderful Holy Ground open there by Quads.
yeah, divide and conquer is the game here. And when the blue team starts to retreat, you just see Lucio speed boosting his team with Greymane and just sort of like hacking them to death as they sort of run away. ETC, Ray, and Dromner on Sukov did try and punish Tyrael, but yeah, it's really hard to punish the Angel of Justice himself because that's kind of his stick.
Rag caught by the boss stun.
Holds down, easy goes in. Will be finally a mosh pit, gets feared out of it. So there's no hope for a big Sulfura smash connects. Fish, Grubs, and Quads on low damage. The chase is on for the blue team. They decide to pull back, however, and defend against the ensuing. No, not the, yeah, defend against the. But to the boss. That's I've got confused. Oh wow, Winters. This game has gone on for 16 minutes, and I feel like we've been here for hours.
Absolutely mental. Nice, great fights. The blue team got the turn in on their web weaver.
Yeah.
Raynor, I don't know how they do that. That was sneaky.
Well, hand in while the red team was doing the boss, it's just, yeah, so they're looking at my overlay, but they're fighting something. The web weaver's up. They're fighting something in lane. Oh, it's the boss. Oh, old giant bug.
Well, we're not seeing terribly much value coming out of that, unfortunately, this web weaver phase. Probably going to get the outer fort walls. Not really anything else happening there, unfortunately.
Well, nothing happening for the red team right now besides your structures falling in the top lane. Finally, Raynor here looks like they can try and get back to this game. They are 2 levels down. Raynor's in a lot of trouble here. He does manage to get out. It's weird disintegration ray just then from Li Ming. Ragnarok finally falls there. ETC is trying to hold back the entire enemy team, giving a chance for Claymore to escape. He's used protected, does get away, but the red team is, you can't run away from a Lucio, not when the speed is there for his team. They section off Claymore and they slice, they dice, they mince him into meat and put him in the cooking pot for Greymane to devour.
Greymane devoured both the Ragnaros and the Varian just then. Shardstorm putting on an absolute clinic on this Greymane this evening. Still got a lot of gems in their reservoir. This is going to be a keep. This is going to be top keep being taken. They're all rotating top. We're not going to have a Varian back in time, potentially. Cooldowns on the side of Onyx. Only going to have blessed shield up.
Well, Rag is going to be there, so he could Molten Core behind this if it's off cooldown and sort of prevent the top keep from falling. But the mid keep's one you got to watch out for as well. There we go. It's all going on now. The sanctification has been dropped to the red team. They're going to kill Rag, so Molten Core is no longer a factor. The mosh pit's gone down, however, and there's no one to stop it. They get a kill on Lucio. No shields for them, but ETC's in a bit of bother. AC's going on to it, but Li Ming dropped a disintegration ray on the back line, causing the fishing squads to run, to escape. And that's it. A nice little death trade there. The keep will not fall in the top lane. It survives for another round.
Well, I'm going to eat my words right now, Disco. They did not get that top keep. And I honestly did not expect to see Arcane Orbit coming out on the Li Ming. This orb build Li Ming is doing a lot of damage, but mid keep goes down.
Yeah, and there's a lot in the bottom lane as well. It could be a little bit of pressure there. Keep probably won't go down the mid lane, but it's gonna hurt. And yeah, that's what I was talking about actually before winners. They were in the top lane, all the focus and action was there, but the mid lane was really heavily pushed in as well, meaning that left unattended, the Web Weaver will take structures.
That is what they are designed to do, and they do it with a high efficiency. Disco, leave them alone, and that will push you to Core Town. I was going somewhere else with that. Core Town. That's what it is.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, these Web Weavers are so strong in this map, and they, as time progresses, they do scale so well. You get to a point where they're almost, the Web Weavers are up. All right, guys, time to pack the bags up. Game's over. But not just yet. No team can get a hand in at the moment, but it is, and they're kind of on the same sitting as well. 34 gems in on one side, 30 gems holding, 60 gems being held, however, for the side of our Raynor here now. This is their chance to hand in, get a little bit of counter pressure going on. But man, they got to be so careful because they're not 20 Winters.
They are not 20. They're almost at level 19, so one full level behind. But Disco, they've got 63 gems across all 5 of their members. All 5 of them cannot turn in at once. It's going to be tough for them to get that turn in.
Oh, Greymane's gone onto Raynor in the back line, pressuring, so Furious Smash comes out. It's a race, and it's Raynor. It's actually the 1v1 fight. Not surprised, but then the Stukov, very surprised, I mean. But the Stukov there, still in effect. He can Lurking Arm if it's not on cooldown, waiting for an opportunity to do that. Varian's very aggressive on the back line there. He's trying to run away. May survive, May start. EC goes in. Lovely power. It's a 4-man mosh pit! No, 3-man only. Does get pushed out of the way. Oh, maybe the fish was in it. I don't know. It looked really good. That's all I could say. But to no avail. 3 members are now down on the side. And you know what? I think that could be game, set, and done for Raynor here.
I think that is all. Well, you know what? I'm not going to say it this time, Disco, because I've been proven wrong already too many times tonight. It's going to be tough for UA Raynor here to come back from that. However, the 3-for-1 trade is pretty much indicative.
Winters, did you see how that mosh pit was interrupted just then? Was Gul'dan not in the mosh pit, or was that?
No, I believe that was the Condemn. As
yeah.
So she's cast the Condemn beforehand and then been moshed, and then the Condemn's gone off. So one of the wonderful things about Johanna, actually.
Well, that's one of the main ways to interrupt. I just didn't see the Condemn going. I was like, what stopped that? Very important note. If you are up against Johanna, when the slide-in occurs, if you don't get stunned, fire that Condemn as fast as you can. All right, so we see the Web Weaver now, top lane on the core, has not confirmed any structural damage just yet. The shields are holding. The second Web Weaver appears. This is the moment. This is where the red team can really fight into this one and see if they can take out the game. Rag sitting there, hasn't Molten caught it just yet. They will drop the Web Weaver. Red team now in a spot of bother. It's a straight 5v5 fight. Watts has gone in, structural damage from the core. But we see Claymore in a little bit of spot of bother here. The Furious Smash fails to connect to anyone. Wasted ult. Shardcom eats a big orb to the face, but he's still alive. No, he's not! The MVP to the minions. The core, whatever, but Li Ming did tons of damage just then. And the red team has to escape. We see ETC following up. They're hungry for blood. This could be what they were looking for to close out the game. Raynor here looking for the throw from Onyx, but don't quite receive it. Have to turn around to deal with the when we damage.
And was that ETC's cooldown coming off just then, Disco, or was that put on a 10-second cooldown? Because it looked like he was about to mosh.
It's a funny one. I have a feeling that the ETC on the side of Raynor here is playing really conservative with the mosh. And fair enough, you know, there actually is a lot on the enemy team that can actually disrupt it. You know, earlier on in the game, I was thinking, like, you know what? I didn't think there was that much. But when you factor in the Horrify, the Sanctification, the Holy Ground, Johanna, there's so much that can really cancel out the mosh pit that he's got to be careful not to just throw it out there and waste it.
Yeah, absolutely right. They need to pick the most...
Like that! Oh my god! ETC has wasted the mosh pit. Our blue team has managed to get Web Weaver's hand in. This will cancellate the pressure. But now they have to make something happen in this time.
Not seeing it happening here, unfortunately, Disco. That top lane push is heavy. The shields haven't fully recovered on the core yet. We've got a couple of catapults coming down, so that top lane Web Weaver is not going to do much.
You know, the Sulfurious Smash goes down, doesn't really connect big in any way in light. We see ETC going there, no mosh pit to use. That would have been the moment. That would have been the biggest thing. ETC Raynor has used Molten Core, however, Bowl grouped up, nice down on Lucio. There's no more support. We see Tyrael Mad trying to get away. He does get taken out by the Lion's Roar.
The Molten Core value.
So good.
The 4-man stun swing on that Molten Core, Disco. That was just perfect.
You know, there was no big stun there. A lot of, I think a little bit of arrogance on the side of Onyx there, thinking that this was their chance to take it out, not factoring in Raynor, who again has also been very conservative with his Molten Core. Lurking Arm comes down, preventing any engage out from the gate. The gate will fall here, and wow, Raynor here can get some massive game-turning pressure.
We still see a taunt available on the side of Raynor here with a very short cooldown. However, the rest of the ultimates, Disco, are on cooldown. We see Onyx with the majority of theirs up. So I don't know if they're going to be pushing. Oh, we got a boss play here, Disco. This is going to be another team fight.
Yeah, no, this is really good. You know, there's 2 members down on the side of Onyx. They can't do anything about this. They kind of have. I feel they kind of have to. If they just allow this to go, it's going to spell disaster for them. Unless they rush the core.
This is a 25 core rush. Oh, core rush. Base race.
Ooh.
Is it going to happen? It doesn't look like it.
It's gotta be. They've got to go through the bottom lane. They've got to rush the core. This is...
They're going for siege camp, man. What is happening here? 25-minute boss. You can't let that just go whale on your keep.
Well, I mean... I guess... Oh, they're looking for the play, right? They're looking for the split play here. The Siege Giants are going to go down to the bottom lane, into the base, put core pressure, and behind that, they'll defend from the boss. You know, that's their play here. If the enemy team is all on the boss, they'll win with the Siege Giant pressure. Interesting play. I would have liked a bit of a core rush, force the enemy team to all go back, and then you harp back to your base and deal with the boss, or you just push over the core and win. It is only on 60%. It has taken a lot of damage, and they had so many minions in the bottom lane that I feel they could have done that.
Well, look at this. They've left the siege camp and the catapults down there. That's going to push on the core, and that's going to be a lot of damage if they don't deal with it. Wow, this catapult wave in mid and bot disco. They need to defend.
Oh, what did I say, winners? What did I say? Defend at your... they're going to use the... Oh, hang on. We have had a little bit of disconnect, it looks like, from one of the players. But the game is continuing. It is... So I'm waiting here. There we go. The pause has finally come in. I don't know. Key player, might I say, as well. It's actually the Grey Main. So the target they're looking for. But that was a perfect situation when, you know, we talked about, you know, maybe rushing the core. They went for a much safer, you know, we talk about risk and reward here. What's the reward of rushing the core? Oh, you win the game. What's the risk if you fail? You lose the game.
You lose.
So, you know,
it's going a big way.
Yeah, really, really min max there, you know. It's a Hispanic Inquisition, you know, cake or death.
You don't have your cake and eat it too. And this core on the side of Raynor here is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, the game goes to Onyx. Well played.
Goes to